everyone, welcome to LiveProg. I am Marcel Haster and this is something completely different. But like I said at the very beginning when I started back with LiveProg, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to try new things that I've never done before on LiveProg. I've done a lot of things on my previous channel and right now I am in my studio and I'm going to walk all the way here because as you can see there's a huge bookcase behind me filled with comic books. Yeah, because when I stopped doing LiveProg in 2014, I was like, what am I going to do next? I like making videos, what am I going to do? And I ended up doing videos about Dutch language European comic books. Not the comics, the superhero comics, but the Dutch language comic books. And it was a lot of fun to do, and as you can see, I picked up quite a collection of books along the way. So this is actually, well, the other side of it. I'll show you in a little more detail here, but you get a look around my studio. And I'm changing a little bit because I'm doing now my LiveProg videos here as well. So that's why normally I have some LPs put up there, you know, to give it a musical look. I'll show you a little bit in detail. So yeah, I put up some posters and stuff, and you know, I'm a collector of pop culture things, so I put some up there. And I got some 7-inch from Prince, collecting a lot of Prince stuff. I got an actual original comic book page here, which I got from the artist for me doing some video work for him. This is my prized possession. This is really my prized possession. Yeah, some other cool artwork which is up here. This is another sort of original thing also. One, I'm very happy with that, and like I said, some stuff, and I'm going to Comic-Cons and meet some people and get pictures with them. Yeah, pretty cool. So this here is where I edit my videos. And what you see here is a project I'm working on, which is archive footage from over a decade ago, when Clive Nolan and the Camera Theatre Company performed Alchemy in de Boerderij in Zoetermeer. And I did interviews with the main cast that was present at that show, but back then my computer had a lot of problems with all this huge amount of footage. It couldn't do it, but I have a better computer now, and so finally I have a chance to edit it. So even it's a decade old, it's still fun to do, but it's still a huge project. So it's like I'm doing, every week a little bit on it. So hopefully I get it finished. Yeah, like I said, my bookcase here, as you can see, but I'm making some room to, put in some music. I got my overflow of CDs because downstairs my cabinet is quite full. So I got a lot of CDs here and some stuff that I can't really fit. Yeah, downstairs, like this media book from Avantasia, or even this huge book from Prince. I can't fit it somewhere, so I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, just some stuff. It's fairly, I gotta say, my studio at this moment is fairly okay. Now, there was one thing I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna take out this book here, because Rick Beato, he did a video on the current state of music and why music is getting worse, and he had a whole take on it, and I watched that video a while ago, but it got me thinking, because what I noticed is that over the years we have moved from a kind of owning society to a, well, lending, borrowing, renting society. We don't buy our movies anymore, we don't buy our music anymore. We just take a subscription to a streaming service, and we can, for a small amount of money, we can watch everything we want, we can listen to anything we want, but we don't own anything anymore. So collections like behind me, that's going to be a thing of the past, and that is something that I'm really sad about, because the whole idea of owning a piece of music makes it special. And when you just, go online and you think, oh, what am I going to listen to this time? And you have 100, 200, 500 artists to choose from. Yeah, I don't know. I find it overwhelming. And I'm like, oh man, it's so much. I don't know what to choose anymore. So that is one thing. You have an overload of information, which I think is not really good for people. But at the same time, the value of music, the value, I mean, when you buy something, you spend money on it, you purchase something, and it's a transaction. You know, it means something. And that is why I picked out this book that I really wanted to show you. The book is called Fietsmod. Mod is from the mods, the culture, which is interesting. It's a German comic book artist, but the book itself is in Dutch. And it's this page that I wanted to show you guys. And especially the fact that, of course, this is from the time that we just had CDs. As it says here in this picture, in this caption here, that the CDs was out for 5 years, but nobody could afford it. I remember when I was young, I was about 16, when I purchased my first CD player, and CDs back then were really expensive. So that was the time back then. And here it says, you know, these days you don't have Amazon or iTunes to help us find music. No, you had to depend on other people to discover new music. For example, friends, but also magazines and papers for reviews. But this page in particular I found really interesting, because here it says that, you know, back in those days, you had an allowance, and you had to make do with that allowance for the entire month. So back then you could buy only one record. So you went to the record store and you start looking like which record am I going to buy, because this is a record you're going to be listening to for a whole month, because that's the time it takes that you can finally buy a new record. You know, so you really had to think, and this last caption says here, a choice like that can influence your entire life. When you pick out the right album, it can have an effect on your entire life. And that is something, this small page, I find it really important, you know, because you make a choice, you make a deliberate choice. This is the album, this is the band I'm going to spend my money on and I'm going to listen to. And today, even it's still different. I mean, these days you have these thrift markets and you have CDs are really cheap because nobody wants CDs anymore, because everybody is doing streaming. So everybody's selling their CDs, except for the prog fans. They hold on to their CDs because they are the collectors, and that's why I love prog so much. But at the same time, that's the downside again. That makes the prog CD still very valuable and still very expensive. And I'm still, you know, I used to have a huge collection, and when I stopped doing LiveProg, I was so, you know, done with the music that I sold pretty much, well, I think 75% of my collection. But now I'm back into prog, which, you know, it still surprises me, but I'm really loving it. And now I'm missing all that music, and I'm at the constant, you know, every time I look for albums that I don't have, albums that I miss, that I want, and I'm buying a lot of stuff back, and that costs me a whole lot of money. So with that, you know, my budget is limited, so I have to make careful decisions on which music I am going to buy. Speaking about that, music I'm going to buy, I am in the mood for some music to buy. You know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to get me some new music. Mother, it is hot. Well, I sort of made it. Parking is a serious problem right here, but I found a spot. Unfortunately, I can only stay there for half an hour, so I'm going to have to wrap this up quickly, which might be a problem. But, you know, record stores are not easy to find these days. So in this case, I'm kind of skipping the middleman and I'm going straight to the source. I'm going to pay a visit to Dutch Music Works or Freya Music. I'm going to the label and have a look around there and maybe have a chat. And I'm not sure if I am allowed to film in there, but if I can, I'll give you a sneak peek of what I can find in there. But at least I'll show you what I've bought. So let's have a look. It's got to be here somewhere.
Much later.
Okay, so for privacy reasons, I couldn't film inside, but I got a nice stack of CDs. But it's warm outside, and I really have to get back to my car because I paid for parking, but I spent a lot of time in there, so I kind of forgot to track of time. That's when you talk about music, you lose track of time. So I'm already late I hope I don't get a parking ticket, so I gotta hurry to my car. But I'll head back home and I'll show you what I bought. All right then, this is my loot for today's shopping spree. Well, shopping directly at the label. Yeah, and as you can see, Eternal Snapshots, the new Hasse Fröberg, a musical companion album. Well, looks pretty awesome. And one I was really looking forward to, Nine Stones Close, Diurnal. Interesting name, interesting disc. It's red, so I'm very curious. Then, you know, I mentioned something about buying music back. Well, this is one of them, A Liquid Landscape. And yeah, this is a great album, which I sold, but now I have again in a digipack. I don't remember if I had an original digipack. All right, what else do I have? I have this one, The Rise of the Medici, Imaginarium, a project by Clive Nolan and, well, some other people that you can see right here. I heard about that, I read about that, but I haven't heard any music about it. So I'm very curious. Well, it was purely by chance that he had it, so I said, all right, I want to take a copy with me. All right, another one that came on my radar, Drifting Sun, the brand new album. Let me see if I can read the title here. It's yeah, I can't read it that much. I'm a bit sweaty in my eyes. Well, all right, it doesn't really work this way, but you get my drift. The latest Drifting Sun album with John Jowett and Jargon on it. Looking forward to that. And an album that I picked up on, listened to, and was very curious about is this one, Chain Reactor, a Dutch band featuring father and sons Laan, Erik Laan, and the other guys, I can't remember. I'm going to show it to you. But expect reviews of several of these albums. Definitely expect reviews of them because, well, that's what I like to do, talk about music on LiveProg. And, well, this is, you know, food for videos. That's what you can say, and food for my ears, of course. So that's basically what I wanted to do. Just do a little vlog style video. I've never done that on LiveProg. Yeah, different topics, different things. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Like this video, that would feed the algorithm, which would be nice because I could use a little more exposure after having been dormant for about 8 years. So yeah, the algorithm needs to be fed, and I'm trying to make some nice content for you guys to watch. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please do. I welcome you here and check out the videos. I have the new ones, but also the old ones. They are still here. They've been here for, well, as long as the channel exists. So, and there will be many more videos, as you can see, because I got some new music to talk about. So see you guys for the next video. Cheers!